like recapitulate whatever we did yesterday. So we had a really good session and we were talking about the common mistakes that generally we commit on the day of the exam, right? So let's have a conversation. There are how many tasks in writing? Come on, how many tasks are there in IELTS writing? Go ahead. Two. Awesome. And what are the 2 tasks? Who wrote 4? I got a mini heart attack. Huh? Okay, so what are the 2 tasks? Can anybody help me out with it? Yes? Letter, passage, graph, essay. Very good. Graph, essay, report. Wow. Very, very well. I really like how the GT candidates are focusing on their own elements and the academic ones on their own. Now, let's talk about the essay that we did yesterday. How many words am I supposed to write? Can I write a Ramayana or a really long epic? Can I do that? In task 2, can I do that? No, right? So it's just about 250 words. Yes. I would say, Vivek, at least 250 words. We can extend. However, I wouldn't really recommend you to be an overachiever in that manner. Now, how many paragraphs are we supposed to write? Can I write 2? Can I write 5? How many can I write? How many can I write? The right number is 4. So it is divided in a few essentials. First one is the introduction. Next up, we have body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and the conclusion aspect. Yes, very well, Neha. That's right. Yes, that's how we can build onto it a bit further. And last conclusion, of course, right? And how many of you remember all the fun stuff I spoke about the crash course batch? How many of you remember all the fun stuff which I spoke about the batch, right? So I need a volunteer who would like to share any old or new student at LeapScholar right now who has taken these batches in the future. What are the benefits? Why you should go forward with Leap? Anyone? Let me know. Let's have a conversation. Who's there? Acha, Shalini. Okay, go ahead, Shalini. Why should an individual choose Leap? Hello?
I think it is the best platform for everything at one place. Also, there are very good teachers for IELTS here. I just love it.
Yes. What about the speaking and the writing evaluations? Can you talk a little about it? Like, did you get any of your writing evaluated till now?
Sorry, ma'am. Can you please?
Pardon? So, writing evaluations when you submit your task 1 and task 2.
No, I haven't got my one yet.
All right, no worries, right? But thanks a lot, Shalini, for the boost, right? So what I really wanted to convey is that if you go forward with a crash course at LeapScholar, especially the ones which are on the screen, you would get your writing evaluated by the teacher itself, right? So I would be evaluating all your writing tasks, 3 task 1s and 3 task 2. Yes, including we would be working a lot on the speaking evaluations, right? So the session is planned in a way, the modules are divided in a way that the teacher actually gets an opportunity to connect with you and work on your shortcomings and give you the right kind of guidance for you to ace your speaking test, righty? Additionally, if you are going forward with the 4-week crash course that we have at LeapScholar, you would get an exclusive opportunity to brush up your grammatical range and accuracy, as we're offering amazing lessons. I guess there are about 10 free lessons, which is included in the batch that you're going to go for, right? So I'm kick-starting with my batches on the 13th and the 15th of September. 13th one is going to begin at 7 p.m. and 15th is going to be at 7:30 a.m. So go ahead, spread the word. If you've already purchased the plan, amazing. Now it's time to influence your friend, right? Let's see how good of an influencer you are in promoting and in supporting and helping your friends to get the desired bands, the IELTS band score. And also, we are running the Teachers' Day sale, right? It was just a day before, and we are offering a massive discount. So instead of 149, if you end up using my code, that is BS Live 20, you would be getting a discount, additional discount, and your course price would be reduced to just $95, right? Can you imagine that in 95 you're getting all the modules as well as expert guidance, like for absolutely for free, right? So make the most of this opportunity, yes. And I'm sure it will be great. That's great, Minoli. I'm really excited to meet you. Yes, and so for you, Smita, yes, I'm really excited to meet all of you on the 13th or the 15th September batch that we have. Righty? So let's get going and let's have a conversation and understand the lesson for the day, which is all around the world of generating ideas. Oh, it's a task. It's a task for me to generate ideas on the spot, especially when I know that there is a clock ticking and I have to keep in relation the time, the content, my grammar, my writing skills, all of that. Yes, I do feel overwhelmed. And I understand you must be feeling the same as well. That doesn't mean that we're going to stop at this obstacle, right? We have to take the leap and let's get going. But before we do that, let's have a need analysis, right? I would like to know, what do you guys feel? What is your biggest problem when it comes to generating ideas? Come on, hit me up with a response. I would really like to know. What are the biggest problems that you face when you are thinking or you're generating ideas? Let me know. Yeah, use the column, yeah, the chat. Very well, Minoli, distraction. Ansi says vocab. I agree. What else? Ideas not coming fast. Oh, of course. Framing the idea very well, proper vocab, arranging thoughts, making full sentences out of bullet points. Perfecto, right? And we have this habit, and I would say it's a great habit to make bullet points. That's really, really good. But it becomes a huge task when I'm supposed to write it on paper. Yes. So let's get going and let's take a look at the most commonly found task, the most commonly found problem, pardon me, and let's jump and figure it out. Yes. Yeah, so Surinder, we are beginning the batch on the 13th of September and the 15th of September. Okay, so you can like take a screenshot of this for your reference, or you can go to our application and you can find the slots, right? Go ahead, book it now. I assume it's fast filling. Yes, so make the most of it. And yeah, grammar classes are free. We get around 10 grammar classes for free. But yeah, coming back to where we were talking about ideas, right? And the problems, the general problems that we come across. Let's take a look at the first one. The biggest problem that I understood from our conversations through the chat box was difficult and extreme topics. Topics which aren't at all relevant, right? I mean, like I'm not even familiar with the concept of let's say work from home before COVID, work from home, or taking a gap year, right? I don't know. I've studied in education system, Indian education system, and my system doesn't allow any gap years, right? Like right after school, you're expected to jump into a college or an engineering institute, right? So the concept of a gap year or the concept of working from home post-COVID era was really difficult for me to imagine. So how can we deal with such kind of content, such kind of topics? First, it's really essential to understand that the authentic IELTS essay will be on topics that you can reasonably gauge and you can ponder on and you can form an opinion on. Yes, it will never be like an alien concept for you. Somewhere or the other, you will be able to find a lingering thought attached to it. It gives an opportunity for the candidate to express his or her ideas in English, of course. Secondly, you don't really, or you're not expected to have some specialized knowledge around the question, right? So for example, if the question is on the gap year, yeah, so we don't really need to have any specialized knowledge. We can just give a little brush, maybe that pick up points which are commonly used or you see in the surroundings. And of course, occasionally, if you turn out to be unlucky, yes, if your luck is not in your favor, then you might come across a question that could be a little bit problematic. And I found quite a relevant one on the screen. This is something which I came across, and I would like all of us to look at these bolded statements, right? I have bolded this question out on the screen out here. In recent years, many local or small shops have closed because customers travel to large shopping centers or mall to do their shopping. Is it a positive or a negative development? In India, it's pretty common, to be honest. But the biggest problem that comes with me is that I have around 1,000 ideas in my mind. Which ones am I supposed to write? Which ones am I supposed to express or build upon? Can you guys help me? Yes, come on. Let's use the chat box and let's try to understand how can we pick and choose the best kind of ideas. Yes, come on, go ahead. Give me good responses, right? Try to give in good responses. There are many local shops which have really lost their revenues because of large shopping centers. What do you guys think? Latika says it's a negative development. Is it a positive or negative one? TK. Latika says it's negative. What about the others? Pankudi says development of small sector. Ansi, Kamalpreet, Shrishti. Shrishti says it's positive. That's something unique. Very well. Neither positive or negative. Very good, Madhavi. I like how you're playing safe. Jatin says positive. Jigar, Ankita, economic considerations. Smita. Perfecto. So see, for a question like this, yes, I do agree. We must be very sure with what kind of development are we going to go forward with, right? In my opinion, I really don't think it's a great development. Yeah, I don't think it's a good one. Why? Because why? Come on, give me a reason. Now that we have come down to some conclusion, why do we feel that it's a negative development? Very good. Small shop, small scale business. I love the why in this lesson. Perfecto. Yes. Good work. Yeah. So yes, we can mention the positive aspects, let's say in paragraph 1, and then in paragraph 2, we must write the drawbacks, right? Or we must write the benefits of shopping centers. Now, come on, hit me up with responses. Why do you think large shopping centers are a great benefit or a great boost to our economy? Can we have a conversation on that? Yes, Pratik, I agree. Rich are becoming richer and poor are getting poorer. Yes. But what about the next part of the statement? So the first view is right here, right? You guys remember? We had first view and second view concept. Okay. All commodities available at one place. Very well. Rahul says, what type of essay can we write both in positive? Yes, Chahat, I am focusing on that. Yeah. All right. Flexible. Only one benefit, you guys feel that it's flexible. Nothing else. Nothing special about it. Yes, you do get an exposure to luxury. Yes, something that we might never experience at a local store, right? We will experience luxury, we will experience hygiene, we will experience customer service when we are thinking of a large shopping complex, right? Yes, and it also provides employment opportunities. How can we let go of that? So your paragraph 1 should be largely focusing on your main point. So for example, I think that it's a negative development. We shouldn't have a lot of large or let's say Reliance stores or something like that, because the small scale shops are not getting an opportunity to grow. Yeah. And then in my paragraph 2, I would be writing a bit about the benefits of large shopping centers. And in the conclusion aspect, I hope you guys are listening to me. Yes, hold on your horses, right? Calm down, stop bombarding me with texts right now. Let's listen to what I'm trying to express. And of course, your opinion matters as well. Yeah. And in the conclusion bit, we can and we must be very clear with what kind of advancements are we focusing on. Yes. So whenever we have an extreme or difficult topic, we must consider what or which kind of view are you more inclined towards. But it does not mean that we must totally ignore the other aspect of it. Yes, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a proper solid balance. Aprajita, if I were you, I would write only 2. 2 body paragraphs are more than cool. So let's go forward. This was the very first problem that we came across. Let's take a look at the next one. trying to be interesting. Oh man, there are so many individuals, right, who have this desire that, ma'am, I think my answer should be interesting. I think the reader should read my answer and immediately, be all over it or mad about it or crazy about it. And I agree 1,000% with your passion and your dedication to write better. But what matters is not your way of making an interesting conversation. The thing that matters the most is relevancy. Are your ideas relevant? You might be a very good writer. You might have the power of vocabulary. You might have the power of content and all of it. But if your ideas are not well presented, of course, with the use of grammar, use of good collocations, tenses, all of that, then you might not land a good score. This is the biggest problem that students suffer, and especially the doctors and the engineers who end up going for the IELTS test. We tend to be, we have this desire of making it very specialized, making it very interesting in nature. But what we are missing out is the ideas. Your ideas don't need to be interesting or original or even knowledgeable. Even if you end up writing something like "I'm best friends with an alien," and if that sentence is grammatically right, you will get a good score. Yes, because what matters the most is that keep your ideas simple. It is really easy to build on to ideas, to thoughts which are simpler and not complex ones, because we have a time constraint. In just 40 minutes I'm supposed to write my task 2. I cannot afford, or I do not have the luxury of being an interesting writer. Yes, and also tell this to my friends, like to my students, that whenever you get a topic, avoid indulging in the complex set of words or complex set of ideas. Of course, compound sentences are important, but what matters the most are the ideas. Keep it relevant, keep it simple, keep it easy for the reader to understand. It's a test of language, not your interesting or boring content. Yes, let's make a note of it. Cool. So let's go forward and let's take a look at the structure and the way in which we can brainstorm and become amazing idea generators, right? Especially for band 9s. These are for those daredevils, brave hearts who want to get a band 9 in their IELTS writing. So let's make the most of it and let us try to generate as many ideas as possible, right? So for the next 50 minutes of the lesson, we are purely going to involve ourselves in generating generating content. So let's get started. Are you guys ready? Show some excitement. Yes. Yay, no, meh. Tell me something. Yeah. Yay, very well. That's great. Yes. Cool. I was just checking in if you guys are there or not. Yeah. So let's go forward and let's figure it out. The very first one. Generating ideas, like any other part of IELTS test, is a skill. Yes. The very first thing, and this is for all of those who are just starting out to write, right? Who have never ever written an essay. Even in school, you were the ones who were, copying, or you were the ones who were daydreaming. Whoever you might be, or whatever kind of experience you're coming with on this platform. What I really recommend you is the first element. Practice generating only ideas, not essays. This should be your first step. Like a baby, we are going to take a few steps. And the first baby step is going to be generating only ideas. Whenever you come across a question, maybe on the internet or on YouTube, wherever you are looking for IELTS guidance, or even at LeapScholar, I wouldn't ever recommend you to write an essay right on the spot. Just produce 3 to 4 solid ideas, solid pointers on which you can create a story. Also, for those individuals who are not very confident about English language as such, I understand. Suddenly, or forcing yourself to think in English to make your ideas around a foreign language might be overwhelming. So what you can do is that you can generate ideas in your mother tongue. Yes, for example, my mother tongue is Hindi. So I can imagine generate ideas in Hindi and I must quickly translate it to English. What am I doing right now? I am using not just one skill, I'm using two skills. First, I'm thinking in my mother tongue, which is my comfort zone, my comfort language. And then I jump to a foreign language, that's English. So what's happening out here is that instead of just utilizing one skill, that is generating ideas in English, I'm trying to connect some ideas. I'm trying to find vocabulary. I would be using a dictionary as well. Yes, because there isn't any literal translation from Hindi to English, right? We need a dictionary, a good one, maybe a Cambridge one. Yes. So I am using all of these skills to find or create a foundation of ideas. Righty? So let us try to put all of this into practice. Yes, enough of my gyan. Let us do a little bit of practice session right here. I found a few interesting questions all through the years of IELTS training. And there are about 8 which I found were quite interesting. Yes, and I would like all of us to look at these questions. I need your help in brainstorming. I don't want you to write essays or write any sentences right now. No. Simply, I want you to look at the first question. What are the main causes of traffic congestion and how can we solve it? Don't write any message right now. Hold on. Let me give you the instructions. Yes. I want you to think of 3 causes and 3 solutions. Okay. 3 causes, 3 solutions. Go ahead. Take your time. I'm giving you all a minute. The first question, what are the main causes of traffic congestion and how can we solve it? Go ahead. Take your time. I only need ideas, no sentences. Okay, Deepthi says cause increased population. How is population related to traffic congestion? Okay, big vehicles, ignorance, failed system, very well, Shalini. Good job, Gautam, Harish, Anshika. Wow, quite a lot of responses. Alrighty, I agree. Yes, I don't think jaywalking can be a reason of traffic congestion, right? It's a very small, minute reason for people getting stuck in traffic. Yes. Now let's talk about solutions. Okay, I love the way all of you are really good critiques, I must say. Now let's focus on the solution. Come on, jump on the solutions. What can be the solution? I get it. We are really rustic on the streets of India, right? We have zero traffic sense and all of it. But what can be the solution? Who wrote that? Public transport, public commuting. Brilliant. I love this. What can be the second problem? Right? Okay, so the first one is that there are a lot of people in the world and everybody has a car and they're all driving on the streets. Okay, the possible solution can be public transport. Next. Carpooling. Very well, Sarvesh. Good job, Vaishnavi. Yes, carpooling is a great idea. And give me a third one. I need a third example. Harikishan says air taxi. Yeah, for sure. In a third world country like India, right? Cycles, electric vehicle usage. Darling, this is traffic congestion, not pollution. We know we're talking about pollution. Don't get confused with that. Yes, multi-level parking system, right? Or we can talk about, let's say, infrastructure like highways and roadways, right? We can work on that. Yes, I agree. Good job. Now let's jump to question number 3. Something that is really close to all our hearts currently, right? Now that I am totally glued on the world of social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. What can be the possible advantages and disadvantages of using social media? I need 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. Please observe how I have lessened the number of ideas. Yes, focus on that. What are the advantages of social media? Pankhuri, no, I don't really think it's a very vague kind of advantage. You can do better. Come on. Okay, Shrishti, it connects me to people, but what else? Okay, perfect. Yes, it gives you exposure. Yes, easy way to sell products and market products, right? What about the solutions, like the disadvantages? I'm sorry, disadvantages. Addiction. Yes, 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 right? Addiction. And give me another disadvantage. Health problems. Yes, damage to your eyes, right? The eyesight, the vision gets hacked. There are a lot of problems. Okay, got it, got it, got it. Thanks a lot for sharing. Now let's jump to number 6. I think number 6 is quite sports specific. Yeah, I'm like I don't know what is all of this. Let's look at number 6. Some people think that Liverpool is the best team in the world, while others think that it is Barcelona. I'm like, who is Barcelona? What is Liverpool? I don't know. How can I work on a question like this? Yes. How do I know? Some of you are saying no, Manchester. Okay, we're not having any team fight right now. But imagine for a person who has got zero idea about what is Liverpool, what is Barcelona, how can you give your opinion? My recommendation to you would be that go through as many past papers as possible, right? Because you might come across a situation, you might come across a statement that is really hard for you to gauge or to, even make relevant points. Absolutely, Akashdeep. What if we don't know what is Liverpool, what is Barcelona? Yes, though we have a lot of football fans in the class, but what if someone who has got like zero idea about it? What are we going to do? Please make yourself aware. Keep your vision wide open. We might not know what kind of questions might turn out on the day of the exam. Yes, and that's the reason why I say begin generating ideas first, write essays later. With this ideology, even if you're spending just 10 minutes a day coming up with ideas, you will soon be an expert in idea generation. And for those who have zero idea, who have never ever watched a football match, I think the learning for you today should be watch a match today, or Google or YouTube something like that, and you will come across a good opinion. And for those who are asking about me, I would say Barcelona any day. Yes, go team Barcelona. Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, for sure. We can always do that. But Angel, again, moving away from a question that is very specific to football, talking about cricket would be a little off. It should be relevant. It should be in relation to the question that we have. Yes? Hala Madrid. Very well. Yeah? Okay, let's go forward then. Moving on from this, let's take a look at the reverse engineering. What did something that I said like a few seconds ago. What do you understand by reverse engineering? Anybody out here, any brave heart who would like to read the content from the screen? Any kind person out here? I'm really parched. Anybody out here would like to read it out? Hi, Preeti. Preeti, ready. Sorry. Hello. Hi.
Yeah, am I audible? Hi.
Yeah, perfectly audible. Go ahead, darling. Please read out the content for the class.
Yeah. Find some model IELTS essays. These are essays written at around a band 8 or band 9 level. Example, the Cambridge IELTS Authentic Practice Test series is also a good source of model essays. Read them carefully, look for the main ideas and write them down. You're basically writing out the plan that the writer of the essay may have used. In other words, turn the essay into a plan. This is known as reverse engineering. You take the finished piece of writing and try to discover the plan that led to the essay. Reverse engineering, a model essay will help you to see what ideas went into this model essay and how you could do the same.
Thank you. Yes, so it's something like get hold of Cambridge IELTS Authentic Practice Test. And when I talk about this, we actually have 14 Cambridge IELTS tests, practice tests on our portal. So whoever is going forward for any of these batches that we are beginning on 13th and 15th September, you would be getting free access to Cambridge IELTS material, right? Now, coming back to the question that we have, it is very, I would say it's a great strategy. If you are reading at least one test paper a day. And by reading the test paper, I don't want you to just skim through it, not really. Find the main ideas and write down a list of content that you observed in the essay. So what is happening right now? This strategy is known as reverse engineering. Yes. So either like instead of going from A to B, you are going from B to A. Yes, you're looking at the finished product, a polished finished product that you will be finding in the link that I have represented on the screen or on the LeapScholar app, and then you can emulate that in your own writing. What is the use of it? It is for those individuals who are really stuck with generating ideas, with generating content. Yeah, make the most of it, and I'm sure it's going to be great. Yes. Cool. Righty. Now, moving on from this to the next. I saw one of you write down that, yeah, we can Google it. We can also Google content. Why do I need to read? Yes, I agree. But I would still recommend you guys to get into the habit of reading, and especially from the Cambridge IELTS Authentic Test papers that we have. But again, coming back to the topic, yeah, for sure, you can find ideas on the internet. However, on the day of the exam, you wouldn't really have the liberty or the luxury of, opening your phone and Googling material and writing it down. But how can we be one step ahead of it? It's absolutely okay and natural to find ideas on the internet. But how do you find it? Because, whenever I Google answer, like a question, what happens is that Google gives me 10 random websites, and all of them have the sample answer in it. But how can I take inspiration from a sample answer? How can I take inspiration from a person who has written a content, but I have zero idea about the topic? How can I build on to it? I feel really lost when such kind of situation happens with me. And I've got the opportunity to bring a very interesting question for you, and I must say it's pretty boring. Genetic engineering is a dangerous trend. It should be limited. To what extent do you disagree? First of all, how many of you know the meaning of genetic engineering? I would be really amazed. How many of you are actually familiar with this term? To be honest, I have never ever come across a word like this. Yes? Gautam says yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, yes. Okay, that's a little bit. Akash says a little bit. Apurva says yes, that's great. Quite a lot of intelligent minds out here. Okay. Now, my sympathy is towards those individuals who have zero idea what is genetic engineering. And it's pretty annoying, right? Because if you don't know the meaning of the main idea, the one which you are supposed to write, how can you make plans? You can't really do it, right? What you can do, but when you are going through the Cambridge IELTS test, right, on Leap or any other portal, quickly Google some main ideas. Okay, so you guys reckon yesterday we had this activity where I had divided the color, we had used color coding to understand view 1, view 2, and the main opinion, right? So we're going to do something quite similar to it. Always find words and views. So if I take a look at the first view, that is genetic engineering is dangerous. So what I do, I need to understand the context. Yes, otherwise how can I write? So I quickly Google genetic engineering. Yes, and I found a very interesting website on the internet. It's genome.gov, GOV, genetics, glossary, and all of that. I went through it. I understood what is genetic engineering about. It gave me a just idea, like a good idea. What is it in general? Then, what is the second part of the question? Should it be limited? I understood what is genetic engineering, but how do I know? I can't assume that it should be limited or not. What's the next thing I Google? Why should it be limited? Now, by it, I mean to refer it to genetic engineering. And I found another information on the website, and I read through the content. Now, when I am reading through it, I came across some words, some interesting vocabulary, word combinations, which were somewhere lingering around the idea of genetic engineering, or DNAs or genome and everything that you guys are talking about in chat. Yes. What happened? I went to search one question and I came out knowing a lot about the world. In the same way, you will enter the internet today and find about how amazing Barcelona football club is. You might come out thinking that, yeah, even Madrid is cool or even Liverpool is cool. Yes. So the thing that I want you to take from here is it's absolutely okay to find things on the internet, but find it wisely. Yes. Work on the viewpoints that we have, and I'm sure it's going to be a piece of cake. Yes. Right. All right. Uh-huh. Okay, genetic engineering. All right. So let's go forward. Yes. Absolutely, Barun and Gayatri, I understand. What if you can get like what if we get a question like this? It's totally understandable, but it doesn't mean, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I got a call. Yeah. Um, that's the reason why I'm asking you to read it. Read, and read. Go through the Cambridge papers, right? You will find across some content, some interesting idea for you to build on to it a bit more, right? So make the most of it. Yes. I mean, like, of course, you are expected to get something unusual, but you know, if we are open and keeping our ideas clear, it won't be a Herculean task. Cool. Next strategy number 3. Let's take a look at it and let's try to understand. What if a question is there and you are totally unaware, right? All of you are asking the same question. What about something like genetic engineering comes into existence, or farming and crops and something like that comes, which you have never ever come across? How you can build onto it a bit further? It's okay, it's fine. We do not have the internet on the exam, but we do have some logic. Yes, we can use a little bit of logic, and we can also use the 5 questions method. Anybody out here who can help us with it? The 5 question method. Anyone out here who is aware? Okay, what, when, who, where? Wow, okay, that's a lot of W's out here. Okay, cool. So whenever we are trying to generate ideas, this works best for people who think very logically. And this will help us to understand a little bit more about it. Right here are the 5 question methods. Who, what, why, where, and how. If we are able to just build on to these 5 questions, we will be able to come across a logical representation of data. Again, please, let's go back and let us try to ponder on whatever we did like a half an hour ago. We were talking about ideas. We were not talking about it to be interesting. We were talking about ideas which are relevant. So if it's relevant, it works for you. Yes. If it's working fine, then yes, your answer is a good one. And then we can build on to it a bit further. Righty? Now let's go forward and let's see how good are we and how, like, are we good, great writers or not? Let's take a look. I have a question on the screen and I would really like all of us to look at it. In some countries, young individuals are encouraged to work or travel for a year between finishing high school and starting university studies. How can we build on to it a bit further? Yes? Go ahead, guys. Let's have a conversation. What can be the advantages and disadvantages for young people who decide to do this? Yes? Go ahead. I don't want anyone to write any passages right now. Okay? I just need ideas. Remember, we were talking about ideas? Yes. Okay. They can become independent. All right. And what else? Extra money. Okay. Why not? Yes. Gain real life experience. Minoli, how is literacy rate related to it? Think a little better. Exposure to the real world. Yeah, I agree. Education system, exposure, socializing. Awesome. Now, all of you are giving on the advantages, but what can be the disadvantage? Anybody out here who can help me? Yes. What about the disadvantage? It's quite a common question, as a matter of fact. No, how is it a time waste? Not really. What can be the disadvantage? No, I don't really agree with any of it. That's a good one. Sama Varun, that's a really good one. Yes. Very good, Tarun. Yeah. Vigneshwaran, brilliant. Yes. So, in general, we can brainstorm and we can bring in good ideas with something like, if we think about the advantages, it gives us exposure. Yes. And it makes us dependent. Yes. And what else? What was the third point? The third advantage that we thought about? Financial knowledge. Yes, it strengthens our financial knowledge. And what can be the possible disadvantage? Out here, losing interest in higher education. Yes, and oh yes, Arpit, this should be independent, not dependent. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, the disadvantage, losing interest in higher education and getting deviated. Okay, and give me one more, something opposite to financial knowledge. Meeting the wrong people, no, that's really not a disadvantage. Disadvantage of not continuing education. Focus on that. Okay, why not? Right? We might get tempted to spend a lot of money. Yes, right? We might get tempted for doing that. Now, building on to this a little further, let's take a closer look at the next situation that we have. Yeah, use money for wrong habits, becoming a spendthrift, all of that. Next up, let's consider the idea of mind mapping. Yeah, the point number 4, mind mapping. What do I mean by mind mapping? Anybody would like to read out here? Anyone who would like to read? Yes, Pranika, could you please read it?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Mind mapping is a way to visually organize your thoughts onto paper. A good technique is to place the keywords in the middle and then place the micro keywords on the branches.
Thank you. Yes. So how can we do that? Let me get you a question, right? Let's work on a question together and put all of this into reality. I'm going to write a question on the screen and let us try to have a conversation around it. Despite of a variety of sports, facilities, and gyms, people are less fit than previous generation. What can be the causes and possible solutions. Let's have a conversation. How can we make a mind map around a question like this? So the mind map technique says that it's good to place the keywords in the middle and then place the micro words on the branches, right? That's what it does. So I have the question out here. And what is the keyword? What can be the keyword, possible keyword? Anybody out there who can help me? What can be the possible keywords? Causes or gym or fit or fitness? I'm really getting confused. What can be the causes? Like what is going to be the keyword? People are becoming less fit. Yes, this can be a keyword. And also as compared to the previous generation, like the ones who were before, right? So this is my keyword out here. Now the mind map says that we must create out branches by building onto it. The question is talking about causes and solutions. So what are the first cause? Why are people getting less fit? Very good. Yes, stressful life. And that's a good one, sedentary work culture. All right. And unhealthy eating habits. Good. And then we can find out logical solutions to these three problems. Righty? Moving on from stressful life to sedentary work culture and unhealthy eating habits, we can build on to the logical solutions for such situations. Righty? Yeah, Janvi, why not? Binge watching can also make you a little less fit, right? Cool. Are we done with it? I hope you were able to understand. Yes, what is the purpose of this? Cool. Now let's move on to the very last segment that happens to be my favorite, and that is the golden rule of. Let's figure it out. All the ideas which I shared with you, making at least 10 ideas a day, not writing essays, but just representing ideas, using mind mapping, finding things on the internet, going through the Cambridge IELTS test papers that we have. The very big and the utmost important rule that we must consider is that choose the ideas that is easiest to explain. Yes. Now, why do I say that? IELTS is not a test that is going to assess how amazing you are in your rationales or your thought process. IELTS, an examiner is hungry for ideas, is hungry for good grammar. And that can only happen if we are in our comfort zone. Yes, if the comfort zone is really good, if the foundation is perfect, the house can be built on in the best way possible, in the most elegant and glorious design. So please understand, don't run for ideas which are complex. I have so many students, they tell me that, ma'am, I think giving complex ideas or giving little interrelated content will help me get a better score. Not really, it's just a game of ideas. The examiner is looking for relevant thoughts which are well developed, not so interesting or complicated in nature. So it's ideal to choose the ideas that are easiest to write about. Yes, that's it. This is the gist of everything. We must take it into consideration. Yes, I agree with you. If the ideas are good and the grammar is wrong, then you will get a poor score. Please make a note of that. But for all the 8 band scores or the 9 band scorers, even when you ask them that, hey, how did you get it? Or how were you able to do that magic? It was only possible because their ideas were good, their grammar was good. And at Leap, we are offering 10 grammar lessons. If you go forward with the program with us, right, any crash course that you choose, either the ones which are going to be releasing on the 13th of September, on the 15th of September, whichever you want to go forward with, you would be getting access to 10 grammar lessons for free. So make the most of this opportunity and get set learning and take the leap of faith. at LeapScholar. Yes. So now we worked on a lot of elements. I have a little homework task for all of you. Yes, I would be meeting you all on a Friday, I assume. But who's going to wait till Friday, right? I want all of us to take this example task as your homework. The strategies that we used, finding ideas on the internet, mind mapping, generating ideas, thinking about simpler ideas, writing, all of that. Take it as a challenge for you. Use the comment section of this video. Yes, this video is going to be there on YouTube, etched forever. Make the most of this opportunity and use the comment section and go ahead, bombard me with your answers. I would really like to know how creative can you get. By creative, I mean simple ideas, good grammar. Yes, that's what I want us to focus on. The question says, in the past, most people used to travel to the workplace, and with the use of computer, internet, smartphone, and whatnot, people are beginning to divert their energy into working from home. Yeah, please understand, this is not because of any pandemic. Yes, this is not because of COVID-19. It is because of some reasons. The reasons are out here. Yeah, the reasons are out here. It's this change is occurring because of some technological advancements. Think wisely. I have given a lot of hints already. Make the most of the opportunity, and I would love to see the comment section filled with good answers. And if you like the lesson, please give hit like and subscribe and all that stuff that I come across what YouTubers end up saying. But coming to that, the major point that I want you to take away from this lesson is begin writing today, but first begin generating ideas. Yes, and that's it. That's all that I want to share with all of you today. Thanks a lot for being good audience, right? I really enjoyed working with all of you. And I hope that you were able to take something from here. Yes, it's very important that we learn something from it. And to bring an end to the lesson, right here, this is just about the program. Like when are we going to go forward with it, right? We're beginning the batch on the 13th and the 15th of September. The 13th one is on at 7 p.m. onwards, and the 15th is from 7:30 a.m. onwards. Make the most of this opportunity. If you've already booked yourself a batch, that's great. Let's not be selfish. Let's spread the word and let your friends know how amazing is this opportunity. Yes, and you can find a lot of other batches on the application. So open the app, play around it, and you'll find some great content. Yeah, and also if you happen to use BS Live 20, that's my code. You would be getting a massive discount, and you can buy a program for like 95 bucks. Yes, so make the most of it. Yeah. Sweetie, there isn't any place that you can find it. I'm right here on YouTube. You can find these videos on YouTube. You can watch it again and again. Make the most of it and do practice. Yes, I'll meet you on Friday. Thank you. Yes, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot for your kind words. We'll keep on meeting. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Alex. You two have a great, great afternoon ahead. Thank you, Pankuri. Yes. Thank you, Arjun. Now, for all of you who are texting me, ma'am, my exam is like in a day's time. I am really amazed. You have joined very early for your preparation. Yes, you joined quite early for your preparations. But yes, use the comment section. Yes, I would love all of you to use the comment section as much as possible. Yeah. Alrighty, thanks a lot. Soumya, you might want to take it over.
Yes, ma'am, sure. Okay. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. So yes, I'm here for a few more minutes. If you have any questions related to the courses or anything, you can message me in the chat box. Any questions you all have? Asta, there are no premium batches currently, but soon we'll be starting one. Yes, individual correction will be there. How will you get like writing correction in a group? It's not possible. If you're writing, then evaluation will also be done yours, right? So you have to write, like you have to do the writing, you have to click its picture and upload it on the portal. Our evaluators, our expert evaluators will be evaluating you in 1 or 2 days, and then yes, it will be sent back to you. Pankuri, these free classes are conducted like 2 times a day. Today we have 3 classes. So 11:30 a.m. The another one we have at 4 p.m. The next one we have at 5:45, and the next one we have at 7:30. So we conduct 4 or 5 free classes in a day. Syama, once you join, I cannot just tell you everything like that. Once you join, you will be getting a confirmation email. All the details will be there. Saiful, if you are from Bangladesh, please message on this Telegram ID. Please, please Saiful message on this Telegram ID. So, Saiful, yeah, her name is Tasneem, and Tasneem is handling all the attendees from Bangladesh. So she'll definitely help you join the course. Pankuri, these classes are conducted daily. Regularly, we conduct these free classes. Jatin, the next live session is at 4 p.m. The another one is at 5:45, and the next one is at 7:30. You can use the same link, this same link, to join all the classes. So yes, this is the link. You can use this link to join all these YouTube live sessions. These are completely free. Vartika, once you join the course, you will know that how you can upload the writings. So now I'll close the session here. Thank you so much everyone for joining us today, and I'll see you at 4. Bye-bye.